What's up, everybody? Welcome to the third edition of Carlisle Projects. Today I am going to be putting in the wireless charging pad from Boost Auto Parts. Thanks to the same guys again, Don's Life and Truck Ownership 101. Those guys did it and following their lead. They are fueling a bad habit, my wife says. So shout out to those guys again. Hopefully this will be an easy one. They make it look easy, but we'll see. Again, a plug and play mechanism, and but still nerve-wracking on the install process because you've got to take part of the console apart, and that makes me nervous. We'll be doing it on my Denali, and that in itself boggles my mind. This is a new Denali, which in itself, you would think if you buy the top of the line Carbon Pro completely as a Denali Ultimate, it would have everything that you would have under the sun, which it does have a wireless charging pad, but it's built underneath the dash, and it's hard to get to with a big iPhone Max. And not only that, it is you can put your phone on there when it's low on battery, and it would take until the cows come home to charge. So it is completely pointless. So I'll show you, in just a minute where it's at. But I ordered the charging pad from Boost Auto Parts, and it got here quick. So let's take a look and see. I've cut the bag open. Let's see what they got. So you get a sticker, which is cool. Packing list. I did pay for a little bit quicker priority shipping. So the pad was $134.95, and shipping was $14, so $160.40 complete. Comes with the plug and play wiring harness. The bag is opened and the pad is out of it, which is strange. It's been cut, which tells me that's strange. I don't know. And a koozie. That's cool. Self-tapping screws. So looks first real life look at it. It's just like on all the other videos that you see. It is a heavy duty. It does have the 3 mechanisms to give better surface for charging. So I'll be very interested to see. It is a heavy dutier looking one than I've seen on some of the others online. But the proof's in the pudding. So let's see once it gets installed and how that all goes. Oh, as you guys know, I wear shirts. Shout out to Bucky fans. My gosh, not a better place on earth than Bucky's, right? So shout out to Bucky's. So as you can see, the current location is right here for the charging pad. It's just your standard factory charging pad, and it takes forever, and you hit the phone constantly right here, so your tendency is to lift up this way. Maybe it's just my natural tendency, but you have to lift it up this way to get it out, which is, maybe that's just a small little quirk or what have you. But I've had many Suburbans, Tahoes. This is my second GM truck. My last one was just a regular Sierra SLT, but the Suburbans had a pad like this before, and the charging mechanism was in this already. I'm not sure why they didn't carry that over into the Sierras. Granted, it was, I don't remember it being as slow as this one. Maybe it was, but they should have left it here, in my opinion. The good thing, and maybe the reason they put it here, is that charging pad must have a vent under it, because it gets cold to the touch. To keep your phone cool, I'm assuming it has to have a vent, and it stays cold constantly, all the time. All right, so we're gonna get started with the installation. So here's the kicker. When I opened it up and got everything out of the pack, maybe it's just me, and maybe on the assumption of you should already know, there was no instructions with it. I mean, it didn't even have anything with it. No instructions at all, which was crazy to me, that they didn't include any with that. But thank goodness there'd been previous YouTube videos. All right, so we're gonna take this out. I called Boost Auto, and they said they don't include paper instructions, that you use a YouTube video. So here's what it is. And they also mentioned that it shouldn't have been unpacked, but mine was unpacked, which doesn't give me a comfort feeling, I guess. I mean, it was in shambles inside the pack, so I hope this thing works once we get it unpacked, and let's see what happens. So yeah, this thing pulls out just like the people say in the YouTube video. So just like they said. Okay, there it is. That comes out. Then it's a T15. I've seen people use electric screwdrivers and regular, but I'll use a regular. I don't want to strip it, anything like that. Okay, so that pulls right up just like it's supposed to. I've got my screw in there, so I don't want to lose it. So I'm going to put it to the side. And there should be a screw right here, T15 as well. Now, here's the part I'm nervous about. I just do not like messing with the dash. But they say you just pull it out, and it just does it. And it's doing it. I am a little bit nervous. And that's as far as I'm going to take mine out, because to me, it's not worth the risk of pulling it all the way out. So if my expert cameraman, which by the way is my son, Wookie Bear, fun facts of the day, check out his YouTube channel, can come on in here and check it out. So we're going to pull out this plug. I believe is the one that we want to pull out, the red tab, and push that down, and it should, that doesn't appear to be the right one. All right, so we want to pull out that red tab, and I can't really get it with my fat finger, so I'm going to use the screwdriver to push it in. Should come right out. There. Okay. So we'll take our wiring harness that's supplied. And that's the good thing about this, is that, as you can see, we've got one end to plug back into where we just unplugged, and one to go where we just have the harness. So as you can see, you're going to have one way to put it. Got a little excited. That should get it. good there. And then, as you can see, it's taller on this end. It's kind of a round pole, square hole type of fit. And then we're good. And now I just got to get everything lined back up. I've got the mat here to compensate for, but I am going to leave that out because I want to make sure everything works before I put it back together. All right, so the next thing that we've got to do is we've got to take this cover right here off. And part of that is removing it from this area right here. And then we'll run the cable down through here. All right, so we got to take this cover out. And I can feel it's just friction held. So you just got to hold those buttons in to get them where they clear. And I'm doing it carefully, and I am nervous as a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs. So we've got it off. So now we got to take this off, which is more T15 screws. So let me get those off. All right, so here's your 3 screws. There's one there, 2, and 3. So there are supposedly 4 screws, if I remember right. I see 2, and there's probably 2 underneath this thing. So when we remove this, we'll take these screws off. So I'm going to go ahead and take all these screws out and remove that and come back to you. So I've got the 3 screws removed, so that should pull right off, which it does. So I'm going to keep those with the 3 screws, so I keep them separate. So I should have some more screws because I pulled those 2 off. Yep, 2 more. So let me take those 2, and I'll be right back with you. Getting all the screws out. And this thing should pop right out. Needless to say, I'm so nervous. And it did. Popped right out. Just like it was supposed to. And we'll put that to the side. Now we're ready for the next step, which is the part that I do not like, and that's the drilling the hole in the other mechanism for the wire. All right, so we're at the worst part of it, in my opinion, other than taking the back part off. Nothing is more uncomfortable to me than drilling through a brand new truck, but I get that we have to fit through this little hole, and the wiring harness has to go through that little hole. So from what I've seen is people always drill through this way, but to me, I think it's going to be easier to go down instead of this way. So I put a piece of wood to protect anything below, and I'm going to drill this way as close as I can to that hole. And they say a 1/2-inch drill bit, which is a big drill bit, but hell, I'm following the lead, and I'm trying to get, look, so you can get as close as you can to see where I'm going to get to that circumference. I'm going to turn my drill speed down. Make sure, yeah, I don't have my hammer one, so, and just go slow. No need to rush. It's plastic. You just take your time. Don't use much pressure, and you're good. And that's done. Now, I'm gonna clean that up a little bit with a file. Get those burrs off of there. Can you see it?
Yep.
All right, so I'm just using, a metal file, chainsaw blade, sharpener, whatever you want to call it, just to kind of round it. You probably could use a Dremel, anything like that. I just want to round it. I don't want to have any protrusions. I know it's going to be, pretty steady in there, but God forbid if you have any tears in the wire, anything like that, and it rubs, that can ground it out. So I want to make sure it's clean. So that's what I'm doing here. Just cleaning it up a little bit, making it nice and neat. That way, there's no sharp edges. See, just a little cleaner. I mean, if you're really OCD, which I am, and I'm thinking about it, but I don't have time to go to the parts store, I'd probably get a rubber grommet and put it in there, but I'm not going to do that. All right, so you're going to get your old surround there and put the new charging base into it. And that's a tight fit. That is custom. And through the opening, find the holes. I feel like this might be easier if I do it without the thing in there. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so here's the thing, is that I'm guessing it smushes in there. I know my hole's big enough. Okay, I see what we're doing now. All right, so when I put it in to trial fit, I needed to make my hole a little bigger, so that's what I'm doing now, is just making it a little bigger. And then smoothing it out just a hair. So I found that if we kind of put this in first, don't push this end in because your wire's got to slide into there. It seems to be easier fit. And then don't slide it all the way down. Just let it kind of go in, if you will. And it should fit like butter. See? Like butter. And there we go. So now what we got to do is, they provided some screws. Those will go into the charging pad. All right, so I went ahead and put the screws that were provided, these metal ones here, so I'm not gonna bore you with watching me screw them in. All right, so we put in our 4 screws, 2 there, 2 there. I'm getting old, so my memory is not as good as it used to be, so thanks to the world famous cameraman, Wookie Bear fun facts of the day. So now we got to put in the handle and the 3 screws that hold on the handle, but make sure to keep that to the right when we do that. All right, so we got the handle back in. Remember to keep this over to the right side here. Got our screws in, handle screwed back in. Now we'll get to the next step, which is bringing this bad boy up to here, which involves screwing through this part, which makes me want to vomit, but we'll get there. All right, so we now ready to plug this in. Remember to keep your red with your red, black with the black. Keep this over here near this hinge, and keep the wire in this area with the channel there for that hinge, and then keep these tabs lined up with these holes. and then press your hinge part in. That'll keep everything in. That'll bring it through to the hole. Remember, keep that low. You got plenty to pull in, so if you have to, just keep it loose. And then just bring it back, smash it in. Excuse me, smash is such a strong word. Just push it back in. Smash that like and subscribe button. Isn't that right, Wooks?
Yeah.
Okay. See, I don't like how that's on the underside of that. I'm gonna bring that back under because I don't want any tension. I want to keep that away from that hinge, from wire friction. So keep it on the back side of that channel, and I'll show you when I get back in the back, and then it should be good. Here we go. Come back around here, Wooks, and show them what we're talking about. There we go. Can you see back in there? See how I got it on that side of the hinge? Should be good. Now we'll get in the back seat and button it up. All right, so now we're in the back to button everything up. And what I'm thinking is, as you can see, it's got a 3-amp fuse. And I'd like to try to keep it as close to the top and get all my extra down at the bottom, but I'm gonna have to wind this up and zip tie it because I don't want it rattling around, because I am that guy that if he hears something rattling, I will pull over the truck and take it apart to find that rattle on a road trip, one I Wooks.
Yeah.
So let me figure that out and button this up, and then we'll be right back. All right, so what I've done is just clean up and zip tie it all in a nice little loop so it'll be tucked down in there and away from touching this plastic vents. Ran extra cord down through here so it'll be away from the cup holder. And one of the other keys that you have to do, and I pre-did it, is made a slot here to fit over the top of this wire. It does say to drill a hole, but I made mine so close to the edge it kind of cracked off that thing, so I just smoothed it off. And it'll just sit on top of there. You'll never see it. So I'm going to button up all of this, and we should be done. So I've pushed that in. Now I'm screwing this in. Just doing everything in reverse. And I'll take this and that. Remember that slot I made for this wire to go in? That should just fit down. We had to get a fan. It was getting hot in here in this South Kakalaki weather. Should be good to go. Enough. And we'll take our last T15 and screw it back down. And then this goes in there. And those dots, you're right, Wooks. What you got? That looks like Wooks got some milkshake on the cup holder.
Maybe that was you.
You think? That's Daddy Tax right there.
Yes.
He gets a milkshake and I take a little bit out of it, and it's called Daddy Tax.
I don't like it, but he does.
All right, so let's go up front and test it out. All right, so we got it all in, and she's ready to go. I got the wire over here. It closes nice and easy. You guys, that was the dash cam, so a video coming on that soon. you guys see inside. Mine's a little different. I have the vault inside of mine because it's a Denali Ultimate. It comes with a vault. If you don't have a vault, you should get it. I keep all my stuff in there safe and secure, and then it has this where you can keep your goods in there. So but let's test it out and see how it works. Should be able just to sit the phone on there. There it is. It's charging. And this is an iPhone Max, big screen. So you could take any size and go at it. You can cut it on and off with the switch here. I like this one because it's seamless. It looks factory. It doesn't have any glamorous lights going on and crazy stuff like that. You can cut it on and off by pressing right here and holding it down if you want. If, say for instance, you leave your phone in the car or what have you, as you know, the system shuts down anything. It recognizes the sucking voltage anyway, but it is a low voltage to begin with. But if you are still nervous about it, you can press and hold that and it'll shut it off, on and off button. But you just set it on there and she's ready to go and she'll start charging. So any questions or anything like that? I'm not an electronic guru, but I'll try my best to answer about installation and any challenges I saw. It was pretty much all on film. Any problems I ran into was nothing really. It's a great kit. I was a little miffed, if you will, with it coming all ripped apart inside the packaging. If you pay $160 for something, which included the shipping, you would think it would be a nice, neat, tidy packaging. I would have liked to have had some sort of written instructions. Granted, yes, I know it's on YouTube and there's dozens of YouTube videos and this one included, but when you're doing it, you just kind of like to have a cheat sheet, if you will, to follow along, because you don't remember what you did along the way. So, but hey, we got it done, didn't we, bud? So, we appreciate it. Hit that like and subscribe button, and on to the next project. And if you get a spare minute, go to Wookie Bear Fun Facts of the Day. If you like history or Legos, he's in the techniques and doing those. So hit that. Anything you want to say?
Well, I hope you visit my channel, and it's gonna be the first link in the description.
All right.
Bye.
We appreciate it.